Hey folks, welcome to Shooting Up North. I'm your host, Lewis Carlin. We're heard right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you so much for everyone that has subscribed to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network YouTube channel. Just want to point out, I am on Twitter and I am on Facebook and Instagram as well. You can check me out on Facebook at Alliance Pro Wrestling Network, Twitter at Shooting Up North, and Shooting Up North on Instagram as well. So head on over there to social media, check it out. If you like it, give me a follow, give me a like, give me a share. I appreciate it all. I appreciate it all. And I appreciate everyone that has subscribed to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network YouTube channel. Thank you so much, very, very much for subscribing to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network YouTube channel. Okay, so Speedball Mike Bailey was actually was interviewed by recently by one perfect game. And I'm getting this from Fightful.com. And when asked about the response to his signing, Bailey said that was overwhelmingly positive, which honestly surprised me. If you know wrestling fans, you know how much they go back and forth. And there is a pecking order on how garbage comments are. Twitter chat is always the best. I'm sorry, Twitch chat is always the best. Twitter is usually pretty cool. Facebook is kind of a mess. And then you go to YouTube, then Reddit, and hear all the garbage people have to say. However, when it came to me signing with Impact, it was overwhelmingly positive. Even on places like Reddit and the YouTube comments on the video that Impact posted, that's nice. It's nice to see that something can be mostly positive. And then Scott D'Amore, when asked when Bailey might be debuting for Impact Wrestling, Scott D'Amore said Bailey is likely to debut for Impact in the first part of 2022, so the first quarter. So by March, we should see the debut of Speedball Mike Bailey in Impact Wrestling. Be very interesting to see how they bring him in. I think he would be an absolute tremendous addition to the X Division, and I can see him right away challenging either Trey Miguel or Steve Macklin, whoever the X Division champion is, for the Impact Wrestling X Division title. So very, very exciting news. Looking forward to finally seeing the debut of Speedball Mike Bailey in the first part of 2022 for Impact Wrestling. Again, that was a great signing. Mike Bailey is going to be absolutely a tremendous success, tremendous asset to Impact Wrestling, and I really can't wait for his debut. I've seen so many matches of him up here in Canada, and pretty soon the whole world's going to see exactly what this extremely talented professional wrestler is going to be able to do when he showcases his skills in Impact Wrestling. So again, the first part of 2022, the first quarter, either January, February, March, expect to see the debut of Speedball Mike Bailey in Impact Wrestling. Okay, Jonah. Jonah has indicated again in another interview with PW. Was it PW Insider? Who did this? I just want to credit the right PW Insider. He's another interview with PW Insider, and again he specified that he wants a match with Moose. So Moose, as we know, the Impact Wrestling heavyweight champion, the world champion. Jonah on a short-term deal with Impact Wrestling. So Jonah wants a match with Moose. So are they going to grant him the match with Moose? That's one that would be a fantastic match. But you got to think, for him to get that match, he's going to have to beat Josh Alexander. So there's a lot of question marks in that match. There's a lot of does Jonah beat Josh Alexander and Josh Alexander falls out of contention? Is Josh Alexander considering maybe leaving Impact Wrestling? So which would make sense for him to lose to Jonah at Hard to Kill. Josh Alexander's contract is up in February. Does Josh Alexander defeat Jonah? And Jonah doesn't get a shot at Moose, and Josh Alexander gets a shot at Moose. A lot of question marks on how that match is going to go. It's going to be a terrific match. I mean, a terrific match. But Jonah's saying that he wants a match with Moose. Josh Alexander still hasn't gotten his match with Moose yet. Not sure. Thought there might have been a storyline with Scott D'Amore holding him back. That still might be in play, but we really haven't seen. I don't know. I don't know what's happening there, but I think Josh Alexander should have gotten that. Rematch, or at least scheduled for the rematch, or at least got his hands on Moose somehow by now. But nonetheless, there's nothing I can do about that because I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan. I can just talk about it. But Jonah against Josh Alexander, going to be a great match, but it's going to be hard to determine who's going to win that. Do you want to keep Jonah happy? Do you want to possibly, keep Jonah for the long term and not just a short term? Do you want to do that? Do you want to get a victory over Josh Alexander? Does Scott Demore get involved somehow and cause Josh Alexander to lose? Does another wrestler jump in and cause Josh Alexander to lose, and Jonah wins, and he'll be the next challenger for Moose at the next, I'd say maybe at Rebellion, something like that. I don't know, but none of Jonah wants that match with Moose. And that match with Moose may very well, I was going to say it could very well happen for New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, but Jonah did say that he wants the Impact Wrestling World title. So maybe he's going to stick around a little longer. Maybe he's going to stick around a little longer. Do you want to have Jonah lose in his first match? Unless it's just, unless the match ends a double DQ, or they just brawl to the back and it's ruled a no contest. That's always a possibility as well. But Jonah indicating that he wants a match with Moose. I just hope they don't make it a triple threat where you have Moose versus Jonah versus Josh Alexander. I want to see Moose. Josh Alexander deserves his rematch against Moose. That would be a tremendous match. Moose against Jonah will be a tremendous match as well. But either way, I'm kind of thinking now, I'm kind of leaning towards going to be a no contest between Jonah and Josh Alexander. There's not going to be a clear winner, and which would set up some really good title matches for Moose, as Moose could defend against Jonah, and then Moose could defend against Josh Alexander, or vice versa. But nonetheless, exciting times happening with Speedball Mike Bailey, and now Jonah and Josh Alexander both wanting Moose. Things are starting to get really, really exciting in Impact Wrestling. And hey, 2022 is going to be a big year. I have a gut feeling it's going to be a big year for Impact Wrestling. So one New Japan Pro Wrestling note. New Japan Pro Wrestling announces the New Japan Cup 2022 will begin March 2nd as part of the two-night New Japan Pro Wrestling 50th anniversary event. And the tournament is going to run through the month and conclude on March 27th. Last year's winner was Will Ospreay, winning the New Japan Cup, and he went on to become the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. And the winner of the New Japan Cup usually gets a shot at the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. And this year, I'm sure will be no exception to that rule. But love to see some Impact Wrestling stars there. As we know, Jonah is already with New Japan Pro Wrestling. I can see him involved in the New Japan Cup. Would love to see Josh Alexander, Moose, Chris Bay would be a tremendous addition. Although I think Chris Bay might, Chris Bay. I was going to say possibly Super Juniors, but the Super Junior just happened, so he have to wait a year. But Chris Bay would be a great addition to the New Japan Cup as well. But we'd love to see some Impact Wrestling stars participating. And I think Omicron, even though it's the cases are skyrocketing right now, I think it's going to die just as fast. That's not giving any advice, but I just staying positive. I'm just staying positive. I don't want you to. I don't want to say something that YouTube's going to take this video down, but I'm just sending positive vibes. That's all. But I would love to see some Impact Wrestling stars participating in this year's New Japan Cup. We're going to have there's also the New Japan Cup that takes place in the U.S. As well. A New Japan Cup U.S. I think they might have a different name New Japan Cup U.S. Do they have a different name for it? No, it doesn't matter. But anyway, they do have a U.S. version of it. Okay, they do have a U.S. version, and I'm sure we'll see some Impact stars participating in that. But I would love to see some Impact talent head on over to Japan to participate in March for the New Japan Cup 2022. We have a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 shows, 14 New Japan Cup shows taking place in Japan, again, starting on March 2nd. So if we're able to swing it and able to get it done, send Josh Alexander over there, work something out. Send Josh Alexander, send Moose over there, send Eddie Edwards over there. Big Joe Doring possibly. I would love to see again some Impact's talent. I don't know which Japan finally and participate in a New Japan Pro Wrestling ring in Japan. Okay, we're gonna leave it at that for now. I got some more content coming later today. I'm gonna be discussing who I feel Impact Wrestling should be signing or considering to sign in 2022, who they should consider signing in 2022. So I got that coming out later today or early tomorrow. So keep your eyes out for that. But until then, of course, anything else breaks, I'll be back. But until then, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. Stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye-bye.